when you're 50 years of age, you do not want to hang out with noisy backpackers and get no sleep in a youth hostel. It doesn't work. So to have the backpacker experience, you need to do that in your adolescent years or your 20s. That's the only way to have that experience. So the concept is you've got to time bucket your experiences. You've got to time bucket your life. Welcome to the Urban Property Investor. I'm your host, Sam Saggers, here to help you crack the code of real estate wealth. Today's show, we're going to die with zero. Yes, we're going to dig into Bill Perkins' book, Die with Zero. Now, I was recently on holidays. I was up in Papua New Guinea. I went to the Spice Islands. I went and saw buffaloes race. Yes, you haven't lived until you've stood in a third world country's rice paddy and watched farmers race buffalo. It is absolutely a life experience. When I was enjoying this life experience, I listened through Audible to a book called Die with Zero. And Die with Zero really left an impeccable mark on me that I thought I should do a pod on it. Yes, we're all going to die with zero. But really, it is a good book. It is about the idea that if we create wealth, we also need to spend wealth. And I think it's a worthy conversation of the urban property investor. After all, the urban property investor pod focuses on buying properties to replace your income. And a simple way to do that is my automatic acquisitions plan. Buy a couple of properties, sell a couple, use the profits of selling a couple to pay off the real estate you keep, i.e. buy 4 properties, watch them grow, sell 2 to pay off the debt on the other 2, and use the 2 you are going to keep to live off that income. Living off that income creates life experiences. It creates memories. You can go to buffalo racing in third world countries. That's a memory. I am now going to take that memory with me. The idea is that too many people put off what they want to do until it's too late, saving money for experiences they will never enjoy. And that is the concept. And a big part of the reason why we teach the idea that property investment is about acquiring assets, consolidating assets, and then spending the money, having some fun with the money. Obviously, you don't want to put yourself in a position where economically you are unable to have any annuity. And even in Bill's book, he talks about annuity. He talks about the idea of taking risks, becoming an investor, avoiding speculation, like that the biggest risk is doing nothing at all in life in general. And really the idea to aim to die with zero, i.e. work out your life, how long you're going to live for, estimate what that looks like, come up with some maths around it and get living, which I think is a good formula. Now, here in Australia, the average person is probably going to live till 90 years of age. This is where a conversation needs to be had, that we have our lifespan, but then we have 2 other spans which are critical to the concept: health and work. We have a health span. Our health span starts to deteriorate late in our 50s. Our work span, we just can't simply keep working forever, also starts to deteriorate in our 60s. And again, the idea is to make sure that you put yourself in a position of annuity so that your in a position to live the right experiences with the right level of health. In other words, you don't want to be 80 years of age in poor health and then go, oh, I wish I went and walked to base camp in Everest. The logic doesn't work. When you're 80 years of age, you can probably do a European river cruise to a German village. That makes sense. But you've got to put yourself in a position that you do not have regrets, that you do not wait too long. And a lot of people fall into the trap of wanting to plan for their future, but actually forget to live for the here and now. Now, there's been periods through my life where I've put energy into my future and then taken stock and put energy into the here and now. Life is a sum of your experiences, and saving money for experiences that you'll never get to have makes no sense. And again, like when I look at some of the cool things I've done through my life, traveling China when it was a communist country, backpacking Europe when I was 18 years of age and fresh out of school, living in London, living in Sweden, starting a business, I can say a lot of those experiences are experiences that bring me a lot of great memories and a lot of joy. And I'll take backpacking Europe when I was 18 as an example. When you're 50 years of age, you do not want to hang out with noisy backpackers and get no sleep in a youth hostel. It doesn't work. So to have the backpacker experience, you need to do that in your adolescent years or your 20s. That's the only way to have that experience. So the concept is you've got to time bucket your experiences. You've got to time bucket your life. Now, let's say there are 60 years left of your life. How many buckets can you create of that 60 years? Let's say there's 12 buckets, 5-year increments of which you can plan out your life. And probably I got a lot out of the book just thinking about it that way, to create time buckets. What am I going to do over the next 5 years which mirrors my work span, my lifespan, and my health span? I'm pushing 50 years of age. Should I go on a European river cruise with some 90-year-olds? Probably no. If I want to go trekking into a jungle, into a hostile environment for 25 days, now's really the time for me to have that experience. If I don't do that, my energy levels, my age is running out. That's the concept of the book Die with Zero. So when you think about it that way, we're going to need annuity, we're going to need money, we're going to need time and energy that we put into maximizing our life experience. We want our job, we want our investments to be a means to an end rather than the end itself. You see this in society, like how many baby boomers are sitting on $9 million houses that they could never spend the money with the balance of time they have left in their life. So you've got to ask yourself, did those people live the width of their life? And that is maybe coming across a little critical because people think of other people. People are not selfish. People think about their kids. Well, I'm going to leave the house to my kids. And Bill Perkins addresses this in the book, that ultimately, if you want a full set of life experiences, start using the money, spend the money, give your children a leg up, sell the house, live in a cool apartment on the beach, and disperse your wealth amongst your family, because you'll probably get more life enjoyment watching them happy and them living than ultimately freezing money in a house that you can't use. And so it's a good kind of lesson that as we build wealth, we also need a plan to spend wealth. And I would say Die with Zero very much links to the phases of investment for annuity, because you start out acquiring assets, you consolidate them, then you need legacy. And Die with Zero really highlights how legacy can work with investment. And obviously at acquisitions, the point you're buying properties, for a lot of people, they are in a different health span of their life. So they can go backpacking. They can go to Stradbroke Island and four-wheel driving and sleep in a tent and hope a dingo doesn't eat them, all that kind of stuff. Because when you're acquiring assets, hopefully you're doing it when you're much younger. So your life experiences of what you need to fulfill yourself can be just simple stuff. And I always talk about one of my greatest life experiences was smoking cigars aged 19 in the south of France, just sitting on the beach there at Nice, just contemplating this is incredible. Like, I have no money, I've got a cheap bottle of wine, I've got a cigar. That's a memory for me that I'll take to my deathbed. And that's the point. We want a life of memories. The business of life is the acquisition of memories. And again, when you're going through acquisitions, you might be eating beans and rice to survive, buying some investments. That's the memories you'll take. You'll get a lot out of those memories. But again, as we grow older and as we grow wealthier, we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we're unhealthy, old, and rich. That's basically the point of the book. So you can give when you're alive. You can give to charities. You can put money into other people. You do not need to hoard it all. That's the point of the book. You can't take it with you. So give when you can see the impact it's making. That's really one of the things the book highlights. And again, I think it's pretty important. Probably one of the biggest lessons of the book is time, money, and health. It's ultimately a wealth trifecta. If you've got time, if you've got money, and you've got health, then you're going to be able to live experiences. If when you're 20, you've got time and you've got health, but you've got no money. When you're 70, you've got no time and you've got poor health, but you've probably got money. So somewhere in the middle is the perfect kind of place. And Bill kind of highlights when you're about 45, you start to get to this place where you've got all three, the full trifecta, the ultimate trifecta. You've got time, you've got money, and you've got health. But you don't want to waste your time, because time is a scarce resource. Time is a lot more scarce, for example, and finite than cash. And so the point of the book is you want to be able to put yourself in a position where you start to spend your annuity. And again, I've traded health and time for money when I started my business. When you start a business, it's brutal. You work way more than people do that have basically a job. You work 7 days a week. You bust through relationships. You ultimately take on way too much stress than you should. And as I've got older, I've realized the value of health. And I would say that now I'm trying to make money fix health and time, which is the paradigm of it all. Money, buying health, and buying time. And, I was speaking to a famous sort of business coach about this the other day, and, we sort of had a bit of a philosophical conversation. I was like, what is the point of money? The point of money is experiences and health. That's really the only point of money. At the end of the day, if you've got money, you can start to do as much as you can to be as healthy as you can. And for me, I spend $700 a week on health. I'll do a chiro, a massage, 2 stretches, 3 PT, play a couple of games of tennis, vitamins, supplements. So it's quite a lot of money when you think about it, right? Gym memberships, like $700 a week just to go through or to feel healthy or to be healthy. And some people don't need to do that. Obviously, some people are self-motivated when it comes to their own health. I'm sort of one of those people that has to pay my way for health. So I need money to be healthy. I'll come out and say it. I'm out of the closet. I need money to be healthy. And that's really the purpose of money for me, is experiences and health. That's the purpose. And actually, as you get older, you start to realize like how valuable health is. No age group spends more on health than the elderly. Obviously they treat degenerative diseases, manage pain, and prolong life. So you're going to need money for experiences and health, and that's basically it. But probably the big takeaway for me was to time bucket your life, to make sure if you're in your 30s, you're doing the experiences which relate to your 30s. In your 40s, experiences relate to your 40s. Don't miss the experiences. Don't miss the show. Don't miss the theater. Don't miss the holiday. Don't miss the opportunity to live a full life, because you've only got one of them. And I think the book also highlights, know when it's enough. You don't want to overinvest. You don't want to take money to your grave. You want to share your wealth and you want to enjoy your life. Now, I met a travel agent while I was traveling, and I asked the travel agent, what are people spending when they've got a bit of money and they're older and they're dying with zero? And she was explaining, the average baby boomer who's going through that experience is spending $100,000 to $200,000 a year, going to Europe a couple of times a year, going skiing in Colorado. And I think that is what it is all about. If you can live an exciting existence, then you're going to create a fulfillment curve which really allows you to create a dividend on your investments. We often talk about investment as a return on investment, but I think one of the beautiful things about being a property investor is when it all works out in the end, the return on life, the return on fulfillment of experiences. Those experiences could be travel. Those experiences could be helping a family member through a tough period. Those experiences could be living in a comfortable home. Whatever it is to you, we're all different, but I think how we invest is also a dividend on memories. So we need to be intentional. That's what I took away from the book. These are the lessons I took from the book. Be intentional, time bucket your life, embrace simplicity, find hobbies, find friends and family you want to be around with and enjoy those experiences. Celebrate as much as you can. I think sometimes we all take life a bit too serious. Seek adventure. You can go to the rice field and see buffalo racing too. Seek adventure, an adventure which lines up with your health span and your lifespan. Create traditions. You might have a great tradition of taking your family away once a year on Easter. Keep the tradition, embrace the tradition, grow the tradition. This is what life is all about. Those memories are worth so much. Capture the moments, take photos, write journals, remember and share. Take videos of your family, video your parents. They're a lot older than you. Get them to write their story, capture their story, share those stories, and you will just embrace and grow your fulfillment curve for your life. Time bucket your life. I think that's important, and make sure that you create a health, wealth, and time trifecta. Do what you can when you're young and healthy. Have those experiences, and when you're much older, don't forget, die with zero. All right, folks, that's it from me today. It's a quick one. I hope it was worthwhile. I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for tuning in to the Urban Property Investor. To never miss an episode, make sure you subscribe to the podcast on your favorite app or on YouTube. I would love it if you could give the show a rating and share it with your friends and family. In between episodes, you can always keep in touch with me by connecting on social media over Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Until we meet again on the next episode of the Urban Property Investor, take care and bye for now.